Hello, welcome back. This is James Uriel from UX Okay, today we're going to continue our mobile prototyping course, and we are on the home screen. Let me go to the content page again. This is where we are. We've done the splash screen, we've done the onboarding screen, we've done the login and sign up screen where we check for some fields, some username and password, loading option, and now we're going on the home screen. So what is the home screen of our e-commerce app? Let me go to Notepad. So we're going to work on the home screen today. So the home screen is going to comprise of where our product is going to be displayed to our users. On a mobile app, you want your user to buy your product, your items that you've posted on your site or your mobile app, and you want the user to be able to view this item and they can see them. They can see the prices and other things that they want to check about the product before they make decision whether to buy or not. Generally, laying out your product in an e-commerce site or a mobile app, it's going to follow a kind of a step. So the first thing we need to look at is we're going to be displaying this product in terms of the department that they belong to and in terms of the category and also subcategories before we finally land on each of the product itself. And that is very important because what we need to consider is every product that the customer search will belong to a particular department or a category. And this is very important because when you pass this information to the developers to maybe create the front end or to create a database, they will understand what they actually need to create. So we need to consider our product department and also our product category. Some sites you might leave the department out, but it is a general practice for you to have a department followed by category, then sub category, and then you have the product itself. So we have a product. So what we are saying is that we are saying one department we have many categories, and one category we have many subcategories, and then one subcategory we have many products underneath. So an ideal example, let's think about this for a second because the department and the category might be confusing. So let's look at it. Let's say department of games and computing or computers. That is the department. So somebody, you walk into your normal store on the street, you see the department games and computers. Similar thing on your mobile app, they click on games and computers, and when they click on games and computers, they click on either what type of games and computer. They click on consoles, which is things that they play, maybe PS3 or Xbox One, depending like that. And then from the consoles, you can actually look at the subcategory for consoles. That's a bit tricky, but we can say that is let's say the subcategory will be Sony, for example. Let's say Sony, and then the product we're going to look for here will be PS. I think 4. Yeah, I'm not sure if PS4. PS4. So we can see now that we've been able to identify the category, the department, the category, the subcategory, and also the product. So generally, that is how your e-commerce site is going to be displayed. That is how you want the user to walk through each of your products so that they can get to this PS4. And also, the way you put your website will determine how you're going to improve the experience. So Your home page is where you can actually be creative. You can do a lot of things. But in this tutorial, we are focusing on creating the home screen now. And the home screen we want to create, we're going to focus on one thing. We're going to focus on having, we're going to focus on the home screen. We're going to focus on having a, we're going to have the following section, which is one, we're going to have the menu, and we're going to have our, let's say, notification, or we're going to have our cart notification, and let's say we're going to have search. And generally, this is what we want to capture. Well, we want the user to be able to see, okay, this is what they can see. They will be able to go through the menu, the cart notification, and they will be able to search for products. And of course, they will be able to see main home content. So you have different things that you will put on your home screen. You might have banners, you might have some product department, you might have some specific product, and the way you lay out your product will vary. But the idea is that this home screen also is going to be long. It's not going to be the normal 620. We're going to have it a bit longer so that when the user can scroll and see more options. So we're going to design that with those things that we've put here. So let's get started. The first thing we need to look at is we need to consider how does user use mobile app to shop. What are the core functionality? What are the core features that they are used to? And also, what kind of icons are they used to navigate with? You know, what are they used to the hamburger menu style, or are they used to the menu that is above the screen or below the screen? So you have to really understand that from your customer. And once you've done your personas, you'll be able to design around it. But like I said, the purpose of this tutorial is not to walk you through all that. We are just going into the digital prototyping. So what we need to do now is we need to look at, okay, firstly, let's show our product department. And how do we want to show our product department? We're going to show our product department. But first thing, we need to change this background to white. I'm just going to change this to white. And then we're going to take a rectangle widget, and we're going to make it like this. What we want to have here, we want to have the product category, and we're going to have an hamburger menu for the menu item. So we're going to have the horizontal line, and I'm going to highlight it and then duplicate it into 3. And then we're going to highlight everything by dragging our mouse and highlighting everything, and then align center and distribute horizontally. So what we might have to do, we might need to increase the size of the thickness of it, so we can have it like this, which is not bad. So let's make it again, and we have it here. So we have 30, and the size is 30, the width is 30. So what we're going to do, because we're going to be making use of it as a link, what we need to do, we need to have a rectangle widget as well again. And what we need to do, we need to reduce the height a bit like this, and the size, let's put it on top of our hamburger menu, and we click send back, or Ctrl Shift high, or Ctrl Shift close bracket or open bracket. So we have that. Once we send it back, we can highlight it, change the color to transparent so it doesn't have color, and we might want to remove the border as well. But before we do that, let's just make sure it is properly aligned. Alright, so we have that, so we just need to remove the border, and we did it. So we need to highlight everything and group. The reason we are doing it is that we need to click this and then bring it back to front, since we've made the thing transparent. So what we are doing is that once we click on this and we click on it again, we can put our on click event to it. So we're just going to have this and say this is menu bar, and I'm going to name that menu bar. So I'll take this and we put it just right here. What we need to do, let's bring it a little bit here, and let's make it here, and let's adjust this a bit, and let's put it here like this here. So we have this. What we need to do, we need to remove this, make this a little bit lighter in terms of the color, make it still too dark. Let's make this a little bit lighter. Yep. And then we can give it shadow. We can remove this, change this to 2, and then change the blurriness to 1. What we might do, we might probably remove the border as well, so we can remove the border, but because we're not going to see it properly, we might have to change this to maybe something like this. We're still going to change the color later, but we're just trying to lay out our page. So we have this information, and that solves our problem now. Okay, the next thing we need to do, we need to have the shopping cart notification. So we're going to font awesome. Let me put here and say cart. We have this shopping cart, although I don't like this icon, but for the purpose of this tutorial, we're just gonna use this icon for now. So we put it here and change this to 20, and yeah, we have this as that 20. And what we need to do next, we need to have maybe a search icon. Click the search icon, and we have the search icon here and put it 20, and we can, this is 20, this is 20, so we can have this here. The reason for the cart is we want to know how many products we have within the cart, so we can, yep, so we have this now. So we just save this. Another thing we might need to do, we might reduce this a little bit. All right, so what we need to do, we need to look at, okay, the product category, we're going to use icon to do them. So I'll just get this this image widget here as an icon. I'm going to reduce this to maybe 20, because it's going to be very, very tiny. So, and then we're going to have text, and I'm going to change this to white, and then font size margin pro, font text, and we're going to change this to font 12 is 12, or I can change this to 10. Actually, I can change it to 9, or I can even change it to 8, or let me leave it at 9. All right, so we have it at 9, or I can make it 10. So we have it at 10. We're just going to make this a little bit sort of align middle, and then we're going to highlight this and align middle as well. So we have this. I'm just gonna bring this down here and then realign this, and we put this in the middle. All right, so what we have now, we have this one product department. So I'm just going to copy this and I'll paste it here, copy this and duplicate it, and I'll duplicate this and I'll duplicate. What we want to, I want to have 10 product departments. So we have this distribute, align, and we might want to group it. I like the first box, the holder, like this, and we have this like that. So we're just gonna duplicate this two as well again, and we have this as this. So this is our product category. Actually, I might change this to black just for the purpose of it. Let me change this to black so we can see it clearly. So we have this information right now on our page, and everything is actually been done in a proper way. So what we need to do next, we need to try and find, okay, what will be our product department, what's the name. So we're just gonna give this a name for now. I'll say let's say electronics, let's say game, let's say home, let's say fashion, let's say TVs, let's say this as books, let's put this as, we have fashion, we have games, we have that. Let's make this although we're not gonna sell car on our e-commerce platform, that'll be too big for customers. So I'm just thinking, what other thing can we have as a product category? We can have we have electronics, we have home, we have fashion. Actually, we can have shoes and bags. We have here we have computers, because computers are different from electronics, of course. So we have let's say we have okay, for now we're just gonna, and let's put this last one as okay, I think for now we can leave it. Okay, let's leave it for now. So we have this information here, and let me just make this a little bit different. We have this. Let's make this okay. So let's draw another. Let's get another rectangle widget here for us, and let's see. Let's change the color and let's send it to back, and then let's bring it to front a bit. Yeah, so we can actually see it properly. All right, so we've do this now, and we just need to maybe group this one, bring it up a bit. Another thing we might need to have our shop name here. So let's call it We have it as my actual shop. And we have font style, Maven Pro. We might have to change this to, let's say, 14. And let's just make this. Alright, so we have this, my actual shop. Let's change this to 12. Alright, so we save that, and we have our product category. But what we need to do, we might have to reduce this, might have to ungroup this, and let's move this a bit closer here, and let's move this a bit closer as well, so we can have more space around it. Another thing again, let's just make this, and let's make this this, let's make this, and then let's highlight everything, distribute horizontally, align middle, and we just have to make this group, and we can group all this as well too. And then we have this as, yep. We can group this together, and then I like the first one, then I like the group one, center, horizontal. Yep. So we have our product department now, which shows that, all right, this is what the user is going to interact with. So this information now gives us an indication whereby, okay, this is where the user is going to search for product, this is the department we're offering, and they can do pretty much anything they want within this space. I might just tidy this up a bit and make this yeah. So we have this as white, which is okay, and yep, we have that sorted out. So what we need to do now is we need to look at how do we put our product down. We might just have a little bit of design here. Let's have this here, and let's put this here, and yep. So then we can have a let's make this vertical group, make this color lighter, and we might have this color lighter as well. So what we need next is maybe get a product image, and maybe put it here, get product name, product name, product name, and product price. We have the product price. Let's say we have it at maybe £25.99. So there's the product name, there's the product price. Yep. So we have it as £29. We're just going to change the text font to Maven Pro, and then we have it at 12. All right, we might not bold it. We might just leave it without bolding it. So we have the product name, the product price, we have this, we have that. All right, so our shop is coming to shape now. Actually, what I might need to remove this first, and let's duplicate this and just change it to price. So we have it as $25.99. All right, so we have this. Let's highlight everything and let's distribute vertically, align middle, and other thing, we want the price to be visible, so we can bold the price, and let's change this to black. Yeah, so we have it black, and we might need to have this as this. So this is the image, and this is the product detail, the product price, the product name, and the image. That is what we want to show there. So we have it. So we have that. So it, and we can just duplicate this and put it here. Duplicate this and duplicate this. What we might need to do, let us adjust this a bit, and now let's bring it. Let's bring it down. What we can do, we can have here and say products, the product department that we are looking at. Let's just assume this is let's assume this is product department. Let's assume this is electronics. Maven Pro, and we have this had 14. And what we might do, we might have a little bit of button here, and we can say show all, which we might just have here and say show all. So we are trying to tell the user that okay, you can show everything that we want to see from our e-commerce shop. So we can reduce this size to 12 and reduce this button. So we might want to give this button maybe a dark color, and then the text to be white, and we might want to remove the border as well. So we have this white. Might change this to complete black. All right, so we have this, and we might need to change this a little bit too. So we have that. It's unbold this and make this align middle. Wait, before we do that, let us make sure that we have the same height. This is 28, and let's make this 28 as well, and then we can align them together. All right, so we align middle and center. Perfect. So we have this here, electronics, and we have our thing here, which says it is electronics and computer. So what we might want to do is we might want to make a little bit of design just to allow that product to stand out. We might get something here and put it here, and maybe make this here and send this to back, change this to black, send to back, bring to front a bit. So we just kind of have like a little bit of pattern around what we are doing. We remove the border, and we can actually remove this now. All right, so what we need to do, let's make sure we group this together. We have this, let's make sure they are aligned. Let's make this is aligned as well, and we just this, and we have this align, and we might have to make this what we need here is we need to make this a little bit bigger, and we just need to make sure this is, let's ungroup this and let's bring this down here. All right, so at least we have space around what we've done now, so let's bring this a little bit so that it's not too close to the edge. All right, so we have this and we have this align. No, we have let's group this first together, and let's select this one and select this, and let's make sure this is that. Before we select the other one, then let's put it here. Okay, so we have these, we can group them together for now, and we can make this a little bit, we can make this down here, we can bring this down, and what we might want to do, we might want to remove this one here and just make this white, make this white as well, and then make this text black, so it kind of look like, oh, we have this thing here, so we might just want to get some icons here and make it a little bit faded. We can get some icon. We can change the opacity to, let's say, opacity to 35, or we can change it to 20, so that you can actually see it properly. We just group it together and just make it look, like it's really faint. We can still change it to 10, yeah, so that we just leave it like that here. So we have this as electronics, and we can bold this as well if we want to. So this shows that we have electronics deals. We might want to have a text, or we just leave it for now. Which shows that, okay, we have this information now. It shows here electronics, games, and computing, and the user can actually see what is going on. So we can move this a bit up, and what we might have to do, we might make sure this is a little bit round edge. We might leave it as, or we can leave it at 2. The corner radius, we make it at 2. So we have this information here. So what we might do, let's bring this up a bit so that we have this here. So it looks like it's standing on it. We might want to give this shadow if we want to. We can bring this 0, make it 2, and make this 0. And if we want, we can remove the border completely from that, so it stands out. All right, so perfect. So we have our shop here, our categories, everything is well laid out. What we might need to do before we do that, and what I will have done is I will have converted the main phone area. This first, the main phone area is the main holder that holds all this content. We highlight it, and we can probably convert that to dynamic panel. The reason why we're converting this to dynamic panel is because we want to make use of scrolling effect. So we can say convert to dynamic panel. We go to the widget and property, and we say scroll vertical as needed. So we close that, and we go into our dynamic panel. We say main home area, main home order, and then that's done. And we can go into the dynamic panel. Let's increase the border a bit and go back to the home page, and let's get all these things that we've designed. The best way to do it, instead of trying to select one of them at a time, is highlight all, pressing Ctrl A, hold on Shift down, and then deselect by clicking the main phone area. We now cut it by pressing Ctrl X, going into the dynamic panel, into the state, and then paste it here. So we have it. Let's just go back to the home page. We see now that once we click it, even if we are only interacting with the dynamic panel, we're not interacting with the content anymore. So for us to make any changes now, we need to go inside that dynamic panel and do our page as well. So same thing apply. We just need to make sure that we have ways of displaying our content. So we go into the dynamic panel by double clicking it, and we can increase this length as much as we like. We just maybe increase it to, let me say, to about 1,000. Let me say 1,500 maximum. What we don't want our page to be too long, but at least this is still okay. So another thing again you might want to have on your home screen might be, we want to have maybe a banner or something like that. So I can get another box here and say, okay, let us make this let us make this we can take this information, copy, duplicate it, and we can bring it here, make this black, and because we are showing that area, let's make sure. Okay, and what we can do, we can have a little bit of horizontal line here. And we can have our banner item here, which will show our banner item or whatever we want to sell to our customers. We can have this really done in a way that we want. So we can change the corner radius of this image to, let's say, 2. We might want to put it inside another rectangle widget, because what we are trying to do here is we are trying to make sure that our page looks so, it's well designed, basically, because this is going to influence our design decision. So let us make this, let's send this to back and then bring it to front. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a shadow as well again, and we're going to make this 0, 0, 0, and I'm going to remove the border. We don't want border at all, and I'm going to probably change this to maybe this color. I don't think I like it. I might remove this color. I might change. I can leave it at white, as we have. I can leave it as that is white. And what I could do is I could, instead of making this dark, I can make this a little bit lighter, and I can give this a little bit of I can make this or I can remove this and put this inside our box as we did the other time. So let's make this like this. So really, the way your home page um, will be designed will be based on your requirements, how you actually want your home page to look like. So you might necessarily not do it the way I'm doing it, but if you like this design, carry on. You can, of course, do it exactly as I have here. But you might just have to play around with it and see how it works. I might want to give this a shadow. Remove this. Give this Y. Give this 0. Just give it a little bit of shadow and. I want to bring this up and maybe make this I can make this that, and then I can send it back a little bit, bring this up, and then I can bring this, I can send the main thing back so that I have this up now. So we have this yeah, perfect. So we have another session here which we can call maybe deals or brand offers and deals, depending on what you want to call it really. So you can name it anything you want. Might don't need to bold this as well. We might even don't need to bold this too. We might just leave it as electronics and game. So we might maybe make this a little bit there. Yep. So we can see that our page is going as we kind of plan. So we can say here that this we can close this and just make this yeah, all right. So what we might need to do again, because we want to make use of scrolling effect, we can go back to our main home page, and in the property section we can say both as needed, so that when we scroll left and right we can actually see it. So we go back to the dynamic panel, and I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm going to make this just this to show a little bit, so that the user can know that something is actually in there for us, so the user don't think, oh my goodness, where is this thing. So the user can actually see that okay, something is here to see, and we can copy the group this, duplicate it, and just maybe give it another space, so we can ungroup space group. Yeah, all right. So the user know that once they scroll they can see what's going on around it, and we will be able to test this in our site. So I think another thing we could do again as well, again, because we want to maintain consistency and we want to make sure that our site looks nice in terms of the design choice that we have, we might have to do some other thing here. But because this tutorial, I don't want the home page tutorial to get too long, we're going to come back and then we're going to continue. But let's preview what we've done so far. As usual, I'm going to copy this link away from here. I'm going to click here and I'm going to paste it here. And then press enter, and I'm going to click here. What we need to do, we need to go back to this home screen, go to home property. We have this page widget, right? Okay, yeah. So we can highlight it. It's working. onboarding, login, password, email address, and our home screen. All right, so next time we will come and fix this section here. What we need to do, I think we need to go back to the home screen and make sure that we don't have it as long. We just need to make it as 620, because the only thing we want to have to make that effect is from the dynamic panel, and we have 360. Close it, make this, and we can scroll. And once we scroll, we can scroll as well, but we're going to fix this section, because what we should have done, we should have put this inside the dynamic panel so we can scroll only this part, not the entire page itself. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove this both as needed and just leave it as vertical as needed, which if we refresh, we're not going to have the horizontal. We're just going to have only vertical, and then we can scroll this by using a dynamic panel to do that. So our page is well outlined now. We have all the product categories here. What we might do sticky headers next time, but we have our product displayed here. We have some information here, and we're just going to design this home page. So thank you for watching. If you have any question regarding this home page tutorial, do drop a message, and I'll be glad to reply to your messages, specifically if you have any question around it. Like I said, this home screen, it's a bit of creative way I'm just doing it. I'm not actually having a script down for to make the site, but we're trying to make sure that this home page or this home screen of our mobile app of the e-commerce application is well designed, and everything that we need to shop on our actual shop is there, so that the user can actually see it and make use of it. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.